pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the board is just coming out of a paperwork review and a brief non-public. Well, I hope it was brief, but it was brief. Let's see. First up is review and approval of consent items. In the consent folder tonight, we have the AP manifest for 8/5 for $142,180.12. For 8/12 for $28,536.32. Payroll manifest for August 7th for $66,142.63. August 14th for $65,198.14. We have a treasurer's reconciliation for June of 2025, a tax collector reconciliation for July of 2025, a town clerk reconciliation for July of 2025, and then the fraud policy signature page. So motion to accept, or anything we need to pull out?
Does the fraud policy signature page have to come back around?
It just needs to be signed.
It needs to be
Yeah,
recreated.
yeah, it's in there.
Needs to be reprinted.
Reprint it again?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Why again?
So 1 through 5,
Made a
yes.
mistake on it.
It's
We
all right.
have to fix it.
Yeah, we'll fix it. So that'll
We'll
come
fix
up
it. We'll
next.
just sign it before we go.
Again?
Again.
That'll be the third attempt to get it signed right.
Okay.
All right, anything, all right, so we'll just adjust it then,
1
okay.
through 5 with the delay on the fraud policy.
Yep. Do I need a
So
motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Leary, so, motion made by Ms. Plansky, seconded by Mr. Leary. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0-0. Next up is a public hearing. Right? This is the acceptance for the 2025 Granite State Clean Fleet Grant, which will be purchasing a Ford F-550 rescue truck. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So made.
Motion made by Mr. Leary. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Queenan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So the public hearing is now open. Ms. Kleiner, would you like to give us the highlights?
Certainly. So I think we discussed this a couple weeks ago, when we received word from New Hampshire DES that we had been approved. The grant agreement does have to be approved by the Board of Selectmen after a public hearing, and then it has to go to Governor and Executive Council. This is for the purchase of a rescue truck. This grant is a 70% reimbursement, very similar to the grants that we received for highways. So we're familiar with the process, and unfortunately, it does involve the town paying the 30%. And so the match paid by the state would be $283,500 at the amount that we put the grant in for, which is about $405, or 70% should that amount the truck
Go down.
go down. So what we were looking at, Chief Nickel and I, this afternoon, we dove into where can we come up with that 30% on the town. And I think the important thing that we noticed was if you look at our impact fee study, the impact fee study for that was done by BCM in 2014 specifically noted covering capital reserve fire vehicle purchases. And it did so as much as break out a list of those vehicles, and the rescue truck is on that list. The balance in the fire impact fees currently is $55,591.50. But we do feel that this will rise. We are currently collecting more impact fees with the developments that are being made around town. And should that not rise to the about 105, 110,000 that we'd need, we could look at the 2026 budget for the remainder of some funds. We're only, talking about $50,000 to come up with getting a $405,000 rescue truck that very desperately needs to be purchased. And one of the most important functions about this is the capacity for it to deliver water, which we do not have on the current truck. I think, Chief, I'm not sure if Chief Nichols wants to, give any more background. I think he gave a very detailed background to you when we applied for the grant.
I do have a question. That impact fee is currently paying for the bond at the fire department. If we don't use that for the bond, where is that money gonna come from?
Great question. So we've already paid for this year's, out of that amount. So, it would impact whether we were going to pay for that next year in 2026. So currently, the amount of the full bond is in the budget.
So we could be $50,000 short, and we could be short for the bond payment as well, because the bond payment's still gonna need to
So-
be made. How much is the
No,
bond
The
payment?
bond payment is currently in the budget for the
Oh, it's
entire
currently in the
amount.
budget.
Yeah.
You could deduct it, and typically they have, so we did this year, the board, voted to apply some of it, towards the bond. For 2026, it's 160 in principal and 103 in interest.
I think it's important to note that we were doing that because we had impact fees that either were gonna expire and we needed to utilize them. That was the only place we could use them.
Okay.
So,
So it was the first
would
year
have-
that we've done it? We didn't do it last year?
no, we did it,
Twice that I know
did it
of.
twice, I
Twice.
believe.
2 or 3?
Twice that I know of.
But I will also remind, the members too, is that when we originally said we were going for the grant, we talked about this whole topic and we said we were gonna use impact fees to offset the difference.
Right, but now, I thought it was gonna offset the difference, but now we're talking another 50,000.
If the impact fees don't come up the way they should come up, correct, and that means we'll have to find it, right?
Yeah, if we don't collect more, you're correct. We would have to find another 50.
And do we have a schedule, Karen, that you feel like we'll meet that?
I don't know, what they have for, COs coming in the building department.
It's gonna be tough.
I mean, I'm sure up on Derry Road, they'll, have some more.
Yeah, you have Dairy Road coming up, you've got the horse farms, the condos getting ready to open up too. So there's a lot more,
Pearson.
Pearson and Telrico, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's definitely impact fees coming in that will get us closer to where we need to be. It's hard to put past to get a truck for $50,000.
Oh, I can understand.
You know?
Well, it's
So-
105.
Well,
From our
I'm
building
talking about
inspector,
what we may feel on.
this
Talking
is
about the
from our
delta.
building inspector, which I asked for the budget purposes. Talarico, single-family dwellings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 30. Rose Meadows, there's another 32 units. I'm sorry.
Rose
I-
Meadows
I-
are rentals,
I
right?
stand corrected, 13 buildings, 74 units left.
Doesn't change the
Those are the
CLP.
ones.
Doesn't
he-
change it, okay. thank
Those
you.
are the ones that he expects in 2026.
And they are averaging how much per unit?
So,
$700.
So can you do that math for me?
That's 72,
So
Nobody told me there was gonna be math.
$72,000
72,800 for
on top of what we
104.
have. So we have the money at that point.
So everybody knows, this is not happening this year. We have to agree, sign. It would not be paid for until next year, 2026.
And it's not gonna hit a warrant, though? We're buying a truck without a warrant,
Yeah, it won't hit warrant because it's a grant.
It's a grant.
because it's a grant.
And we're funding it based on other revenue sources that we already have authorization to use.
Okay.
and the grant doesn't have to be executed until the the end of 2026.
Right, so we have plenty of time to get to where we need to be. With that, is there, I guess we'll open the floor to anybody in the public who'd like to come forward to ask questions. Yay or nay? Don't hurry up here. Yay. All right, I'll close public input for that.
So if it works out, we can get a roughly $405,000 truck. We would be responsible for $122,000. We have $55,000 in current impact fees, and then projected another 72 coming next year, which would cover it all.
Those are all the numbers I wanted.
Again, when we went forward with this, we didn't realize that we were gonna get the award in so quickly, or the truck coming quicker than we thought too. At the end of the day, it's all gonna kind of line up, and it's gonna be kind of waiting for all the things to fall into play, but it's hard to pass up on a truck that's gonna cost the town, let's call it $50,000, this is right out of our bottom line. That is the frontline truck that will be the truck that will go out on almost majority of calls.
I think I put Kevin through the same process of knowing where the money was coming from. I think that's our job, to
Yep.
know exactly where the
What'll
money's
happen
coming
is
from.
the
And
old rescue would be retired and turned in.
Yep.
We get the new truck can seat 4.
Yep.
It has a pump on it and a small tank, so it could be first out, dispatched to a house fire. It could connect to a pull water from its small tank, as well as connect to a hydrant, and it's the same size pumping capacity as a large trucks. So it'd be a quick
Just needs water source.
response, and it'll be ready to go.
it's a great
Is
thing.
that
I
correct?
just wanted to know how we're paying for it.
Is that correct?
He was listening.
Look at you. Look at you, paying attention.
And it's 4-wheel drive.
All right, any
Wow.
other questions?
Nope.
Hearing none, I will make a motion.
All right, you want to read the whole motion? Want
Yeah,
me to
you
read
want-
it?
yeah.
All right. I make a motion to approve the 2025 Grant State Clean Fleets Grant Agreement with the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services Air Resources Division, which is a reimbursement project only. State grant may cover up to $283,500 or 70% of eligible costs for your project, whichever is less. And further vote that Kim Kleiner, Town Administrator, is duly authorized to enter said agreement on behalf of the Town of Litchfield, New Hampshire, and further authorized to execute any documents which may, in their judgment, be desirable or necessary to affect the purpose of this vote.
I will second. Motion made by Mr. Gannon, seconded by myself. Further discussion? I wish we could find a grant for replacing all the fire trucks. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. Thank you. All right, moving on to the real critical part of the meeting.
Let's go back to what we were.
Yeah. Let's see, request for any additional items or other business for tonight? Do we have anything else you want to add to the agenda?
Oh, I do want to talk about the comfort dogs,
About the what?
Comfort dogs?
Oh,
right? That's why I'm going to talk about it. I
Okay.
think I sent you an email.
I
I'm
need
gonna-
a motion to add to the agenda.
Yep, so is that gonna be a motion?
Yes.
I
I
will-
motion that we open discussion about a comfort dog.
I will second that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Plansky, seconded by Mr. Gannon. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right.
So that'll be on the agenda towards the end. It will be a late night, so,
I said comfort dogs, I was thinking comfort stations.
yeah. Anything else? No?
About public input.
Yeah, public input will be, well, we're at 6:45 anyway, so past that. I'll open the floor for any public input at this point. If anybody wants to come forward and talk about anything on the agenda or off the agenda, or tell us what kind of a crappy job we're doing. Don't smile, Kevin. Can we go for a beer? All right, I'm gonna close public input at 7:17. All right, one other correction to the agenda, just so before we get there, there is 2 topics on a contract and the two contract conversations. We'll be doing that non-public afterwards, because we have a non-public afterwards, so we'll just do it there, just highlight what it is, and we'll move on, because there's no action to be taken at this point. All right. Let's see, approval of minutes for July 28th. Have we had a chance to take a look at the minutes? Do we have any changes? Motion to accept? Approved. Motion made by Mr. Leary. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Okay.
Plansky seconded.
My turn.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. Next up, approval of non-public minutes from July 14th. This was tabled from the last meeting. Have you had a chance to take a look at those? Do I have a motion? Motion made by Mr. Leary. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Queenan. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, motion carries 401 with Mr. Gannon abstaining. I think you were not at that meeting, right?
I was at.
All right, this is the fun part, the budget. So we do have a lot coming up tonight. So the first presentation will be town meeting, which is 4130.30. I believe that's going to be Mr. Perry and Ms. Brian, or Mrs. Brian. Leo's better half.
Thank you.
Well, actually, Leo's the better half, so. Hey, everybody.
Good night, gentlemen.
See you guys, take care. You didn't want to do your budget tonight too and get out of the way? The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. How about
Well,
Terry?
it's Terry's.
Terry can lead us through this.
I can?
And I'll be here as your support.
I think in short, we know it's a math problem, so let's see how it goes.
Math problem?
Hey, it's X times this many meetings, this votes, and there we go.
Right. We have 3 elections next year. We have the town election, we have a, state primary, and we have a state election. So that's why we have, the numbers are higher, because we have 2 more elections next year than we had this year.
Okay.
Do you want to just go down the list, or do you want to,
I would,
how would
I
you
mean,
like to proceed?
I would just highlight the major changes. We already kind of described them all, right?
Yeah, just highlight changes.
Yeah, just highlight the big
Changes?
changes. Yeah.
It would be easy on you.
We have the new machines. I called them to find out exactly how they are programmed. And, so if you look at the programming on them, it shows for the town election, it's $15.95 to program it. It's done per
Machine, right?
machine, it's done per warrant article. So it's $40 per warrant article.
I guess that's a motivation not to have too many warrant articles, huh?
I was trying to tell you that before. Last year, when we had those big old ballots that took forever to go through.
Right.
Well, those were free last year, right? Was it a trial year? Sure.
We'll go with that.
Not gonna lie, not gonna do that. And then we have the state primary and the state general election, which is the 1325, because they only have their officers that are, there's no warrant articles.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Ballots are on here, we have 3 ballots instead of, we only pay for the town ballots. We have postage went up, but for the 3 elections, I put in for 450, mailing out 450 absentee ballots for all 3, at $1.10 each. Let's see, equipment and maintenance, we didn't have, this year, the maintenance on all those machines were included because they were new machines. Next year, the maintenance is $300 per machine. The old machines, it was $500 per machine. But now we have 3 machines instead of the 2, so kinda evens it off. I'm gonna let you do election supplies.
What was that?
I'm gonna let you do election supplies.
No problem. Well, then we have the provisions that we always have, so that's for 3. The election supplies are what we talked about the last time we came in about the machines. We're gonna need at least one more voting booth. Those are approximately 1,300 the last time we got them quoted. We need 4 4-foot tables because the school had to search for the 4-foot tables, so it would be easier if we had our own tables like we do for everything else. We have 4 of those at $75 each. Then we have, whatever got cut off. Oh, that's probably the extension cords and the power
Yes,
packs.
the power packs, that's
Yeah.
what it is, power packs.
So those are $50, those are $100 for each set, so we just need a couple of those. The pens, because they recommend that we use certain pens now for these new machines. We found that the pens we had were fine, but the problem is that a lot of the pens we have are now old. We gotta replace them. So we kinda put in at a cost of what?
They were from the, COVID,
They were from before
and the
COVID.
state gave us a ton of pens.
Yeah. So if we go with the felt tip pens, like they say, that's for 1,000 pens, it's $250. The pull pad supplies, which is the paper, the printout paper and stuff like that. And, the bag locks, that's $300. That's what we got there. And then the mileage is when, I don't even know what we use mileage for.
It's not for us, mileage and, expenses there is for the checklist supervisors to go to their training once a year. Checklist supervisors, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but it went from a 6-year term to now a 3-year term. It was changed this past year, so whoever's up this year will not be, it won't be a 6-year term anymore, it'll be 3 years. And then as each of them kind of like graduate out, they'll be 3-year terms.
Okay.
Any questions? This is a pretty straightforward budget.
Yep, makes sense to me. Any questions? Any changes? Any thoughts?
So it was a third of this last year? What was the number last year?
21 change, I
So you're
believe.
up 3,000, roughly.
Yep.
This is default last year.
Okay.
Twelve
Where- where are you?
I'll go down the portal. Right, because originally last year, we were much less, but the default number came, well,
Yeah, it was
default
12,
number
yeah,
came through.
it was 12.6, and then the default put it at 21.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we, well, we won't be able to cover it, because we're probably gonna need to cut the bottom line of the overall budget
I
anyway.
don't get it. It's not giving it to me.
You open it,
She doesn't have the budget.
it's in the portal,
It's in the portal.
No, I don't have, access.
okay? It should be access to the world.
have access, don't
Yeah.
Says, we're sorry, but you don't have.
Hang on. It looks like it's open for anybody on the internet to be able to look
Yeah.
at it.
No.
Anyone with a
Oh, with the
link?
link.
Should,
Logged on to your
Do you have a
Gmail?
selectman portal link on
I
there?
am in the Selectmen portal.
Did you log on to your Gmail account?
You log into Gmail.
It would be in mail, not on.
No, but it's
She
just kind of
signed in
security.
with her D.
wouldn't,
Plansky at
it
Litchfield.
wouldn't
and
matter,
H.
it's open to the
Should be right
public.
up in the,
So,
That's weird,
okay.
because you see down the bottom, it says if you have the link, you can get to it.
yeah.
Yeah, I just shared it,
Yeah.
with her for viewing.
Scroll up, it should be right up in the public. Keep going. Scroll on, scroll on, put in wherever you find non-public minutes. All right, so there.
There it is.
There your budget, there's your budget. There you go. And
Just
all your
expand,
departments
just
are
expand
here.
it.
And you click on, all right,
Sorry, newbie here.
yeah, that's all right. I'm
Are you
still
expanding it
learning.
open so it's a spreadsheet, or are you just looking at the, what's in the embedded?
Town meeting, got it.
If
Thank you.
Click on that little
All right,
button up there, that square, it'll
Yeah.
full screen it for you. Get out of
I
it.
guess, yeah. Any other questions
Thank
about town meeting?
Yep.
Okay, we'll move to town clerk, I guess.
Bye, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
everyone.
You could sit there and support her.
Yeah, like she supported
Like,
you.
no, I don't wanna stay here.
She's out.
I gotta go.
Sometimes I support better from further away.
For me.
Hi, Steve, you too.
So I think the same thing, maybe highlight the major changes.
Okay.
'Cause it looks like you're up from your original request, the original request in 2025.
You find it?
Right.
Right at the bottom, it's all your
Yeah.
things in
All
the.
So we
arrows
have-
that go right and left,
Okay,
and
thank
it'll
you.
scroll for you.
Town meeting is, got
let's see what's up, what's up in here.
Got it. Perfect.
We're on town clerk, right?
Town clerk, yeah.
Is that where you wanna be?
Sure,
414010.
all right. So we did put in here for, we're moving Vanessa, we're moving the clerk to a clerk 2 position. And then we're gonna have a clerk 2 and a clerk 1 position. Clerk 1 is gonna be the person that, comes in and just does the, basic renewals, dog licenses, and the, property tax payments. Then we have the clerk 2 position, which is going to be, the other clerk that's at the window that does everything. The vital records, the fishing game, the, elections, the website, the, the base, the motor vehicles, but all of motor vehicles, all the tax payments, and the dog registrations.
Okay.
We put that one in for, and I'm probably gonna have to go to, for 40 hours. So we would have that one clerk, 40 hours, and then Laura and myself. It's getting extremely difficult for Laura and I to go to the bank and just do the stuff that has to be done with, if Laura's out on vacation and it's myself and a part-time person, or I'm out on vacation and it's Laura, the deputy, and a part-time person, it's very difficult to, it's just very hard to do with just two people, a part-timer and a full-timer.
So is the clerk 2 position not a 40-hour position now?
No,
What
it's
is
not.
it?
It's
Is it-
30, it's 34. And a lot of times we have to be careful because it tends to go to 35 or 36 depending on who's out and who's not. And once it gets to that 35, like I said, we have to be very careful because of the pension plan, and if they're 35 or more, they're supposed to be on the pension plan.
So, but we're moving a part-time, what is officially today a part-time position to a full-time.
Right. We
which
need to
needs
do,
Go to warrant.
right. Right. Which I knew that was gonna be,
Yeah, it just,
it was gonna come up.
so I guess the question would be, should we present the budget based on it's still a part-time at the higher number of the part-time hours, and then put a warrant out to increase it, to
For
take a part-time position, increase it to a full-time,
On the
with
6
the
hours.
delta to be accepted? Would that be the right way to do that?
I think it would, because I think we're gonna confuse the budget committee.
Yes.
Right, if we
I
put
think
this
we
in with
will
full dollar
confuse
in,
the
and
budget
then,
committee.
and then we try to, they're gonna wanna cut it and make you go to warrant,
It's like
so.
double dipping.
That's right.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So, I think we need to change it to be what it is today.
Okay.
Whatever the gradual steps are, that it would be paid, should be in there, and then take the delta, do the warrant article that says we wanna increase a current part-time position to full-time in our town clerk's office. You know, take an existing position, move it from part-time to full-time at this cost per year additional.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, it does.
So what would
Definitely.
that do if by dropping that back down? Would that bring it back down, like it's up 11.2? How much is that person, if they were full-time, would be?
Will it be,
It's 6 hours.
yeah,
Because like John was saying, if the budget committee looks at this, they're gonna go after it, and then if you ask for a warrant article to
Right.
increase it, they're gonna.
yeah, we're just thinking, you want this budget to pass, and then if the warrant passes, then you can go to full-time. That'd be sad.
Right now.
Yeah, it's
roughly
20 hours in here right
$3,400.
now, right?
Yeah.
You get 20 and 20,
Yeah.
so it'd be 16 hours each, 16 hours in every budget, right? So we go from 20 to 16?
Yep.
To bring it back to 32?
34.
34,
She's 34
so
hours.
It'd be 17 then.
And what would the overall cost be? Well,
They're doing the math now, I think, right?
So do you want to change her back to just clerk one?
No,
I
To
she's,
think she'll
where she
still
is
stay
now?
clerk two.
To stay
So we're
clerk
gonna-
two,
she's
you're gonna
still
just go
stay
back
clerk
to the
two, we're just
34
doing
hours?
Two different things, yeah.
1768 hours.
1768,
Hey.
and what's the,
It's the 34 at 52 right there.
oh, 17.68?
so 12,
1768, 1,768
Oh, okay.
hours in a year.
so we
You
did 12 weeks and 40 weeks?
Yeah, 442.
442
Divided by-
instead of 480? Oh, I just erased that whole thing.
That's you.
442 hours, you said?
1768, so I think it's 442 and 1326.
Adjusting it on the fly.
That's the 34
I
hours,
should have
right?
changed it in the
34, I
selectmen's.
did 34 at 52.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I should have changed it in the selectmen's side, though.
Can you make that change on the other?
Yeah, I want it in the selectmen's side, though,
Oh, okay.
not on hers, because that's what she
So
requested.
Oh, I
that
gotcha.
Terry's budget's just, she's looking at an increase of
Yeah,
7165.
so I'll change it, 442
Yeah,
and
7165.
13,
26.
1326. 27.
Any other major changes, Terry?
I don't think there's any, Avatar, we have, their program, I added, we don't have numbers, they don't have numbers until like September. So I just added 5% to that, cause that's the way it's gone for the past few years. Other than that, there's no other,
And that's the fee for motor vehicle and clerk, tax collect?
this is
Oh, this
only
is the-
town
this
clerk.
is the Town clerk side.
Yep,
So this would be the tax side only.
this will be the town clerk side,
Yeah, motor vehicle, sorry.
yep.
Gotcha.
And I think that's the only increase that we have,
Everything else looks like it's pretty flat.
yeah.
Postage is up.
Postage went up,
Thank you, US government.
yep. Other than that, I don't think we have anything else. Everything else is kind
Any
of the
questions
same.
on town clerk? No questions? No changes? Okay. Guess we'll go to tax collector now.
We gotta do the same adjustment with the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The time there on that, cause it's half and half. The, let's see, do we have anything else? Property tax searches, I think that's down. Software, everything, I did another, like a 5% for the, it was $150 the past couple of years, so I added it to that. Other than that, I don't think we have any other changes. I think that, on a side note from this, the staff that is in the office now, both with town clerk and tax collector, we have almost 2,000 dogs to register each year, and we've only got 7 left. And it's only August. That's really, and we keep up now with, the rabies, when the rabies starts to get close to being expired, we'll make a phone call to the vet or to the resident and say, hey, your rabies is expiring. So, we've only got 7 dogs left to register for this year. On the tax side, we've got 3 elderly deferrals, and we're under $220,000 in taxes that have not been collected, which is, again, very, very good.
The office is working well then.
Yes.
So based on the adjustment made on the clerk two position, you're under your last year's asked budget, so by $4,000.
Yep.
So, good.
Yep.
Any questions, any changes? Okay. Thank you, Terry.
Oh, thank you.
Sanitation.
Dave's
Come on, Mr. Mellon, come on forward.
turn.
I'm gonna hold your hand.
Thank you.
Good night, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. Have a good night.
Terry,
Mr. Mellon, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
As soon as there we are, 4321.
Yep, 432110. Okay, Dave, you wanna walk us through the highlights, at least the major changes?
Say, Kim, get up here.
Come on, Dave.
So,
Dave, town administrator, works for the Board of Selectmen. Not Dave Mellon. No, go ahead, Kim. I told him I was gonna give him a hard time, so.
yeah, so.
Gonna get a nail in your tire next time you go.
I do have to say, one of the areas that most town administrators talk about is transfer stations, and by far you have the best. So, 'cause I hear all the
Yeah,
stories
it's a
and we have none. No stories to tell. It's run extremely well. Most of the increases, you see the increases there, April 1. Throughout each budget, you're gonna see April 1 increases. And we'll talk more about that when we get to the personnel plan and how the selectmen wanna do that going forward. But on most of them, you'll see that. And then, pretty much everything else remains the same. You have some dues that has gone up. That's all set by, there was actually an increase in the NRPC dues that we pay for participating in their recycling program and bringing their stuff back to Nashville when we do that. So that went up slightly. Held supplies, pretty much held everything else. And then you'll see the majority of the change comes from the demolition material and the solid waste disposal. Those are the figures that change, and they didn't change all that much.
Well, looks like demo went down, but solid waste went up big.
Right, right, and so if you look at the notes, to the side, it's the rate of there's two calculations. There's the tonnage, and then there's the number of hauls. And so we actually, had a decrease in the demolition, but, the other did increase the rate and, the number.
We saw the demolition tracking that way last year.
So, and, Dave does all these calculations, he records all of his hauls, and then we break it down from half of, the fall and the spring, and Dave calculates out what we're running and what the trend is. And then we get the new rates and we apply it to that, so,
With a 3% increase by Waste Management,
Yep. And when's that contract over with?
this year.
Is it the last year of this
So
contract?
last year, yeah.
Have you started talking to them about?
Not yet.
Okay.
I had a conversation with Dave the other day, and he was explaining for people watching how this works, like, as you mentioned, the solid waste and then the demolition, and he's saying as buildings start slowing down, people stop spending money, there's less remodels, so the demolition goes down, but then the solid waste, people are pulling back, they're not doing trash pickup on the side by another party, they're coming to the dumps, and now the disposal fees go up, so it's, as the economy changes, so does his costs. Right?
Yep,
you got it.
got it.
Any questions for Dave?
The only thing I will say is that $800 in recyclables direct disposal.
Yep.
You'll notice that goes to zero. we actually, I think proposed last year
Yeah, we did.
that
Yeah, but-
goes to the recycling account.
Right,
That it-
you're paying for it out of that.
Right.
Recycling revolving fund? Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So most of your increase is personnel and solid waste disposal, in a nutshell.
What's that?
Nothing we can do about it.
Personnel and
Most of
solid
your
waste.
increase is personnel and solid waste. And we're where we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as of today, just because I know this is something that, the board and the budget committee generally asks, as of today, the balance in that recycling revolving, they gave me 47,571. So that is still a very healthy account.
Yep. All right, any other questions for Dave? Dave, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Mr. Road Agent and
You want
Road
Dave-
Maintenance.
You want Dave sit up there and hold your
We'll
your
do,
hand out?
Call out the number.
yeah,
please.
4311.10.
Thank you.
No, I'm good, Dave, I can handle it. I've done it 6 years in a row.
That's the road agent
Hey,
account.
Dave.
Taking over.
Yep.
Hey,
Hello again.
how's everybody doing?
Good, good, good.
We're back at it again.
Yeah. You wanna walk us through the road agent one first?
Yeah, let's no sticker shock here. It went up $87.
That's unacceptable.
And that's mostly electricity, projected electricity. If you look at the lines, everything else is nice and steady.
Okay.
Actually, propane went down, electricity went up.
So your increase is $853, like you said, so that's good. Okay. Any questions on the road agent budget?
Good job.
All right, let's go to 4312.10.
All right, so, in a nutshell, if you look at this, what we're proposing is basically what we proposed last year before default. The numbers are pretty steady. We don't have many changes other than salaries. And I dropped half of my sand because we're using a lot less sand now, that we use treated. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, the numbers are kind of coming out almost identical to what we proposed for last year for the 2025 budget. To within, what, $2,700? What's that?
Don't have the salt number.
Well, we don't have a salt number yet, but I don't foresee the salt, I mean, going up, an incredible amount, if it does go up at all. It went down last year. That comes in October, so there's nothing really we can do about that until we get that salt number.
The shed's not full right now, though.
Sheds aren't full right now. Sheds are maybe half capacity, that's because with the paving, we wanted to leave the frontal lip open so they could grind up to it. I still have some money in my salt money, so, once the salt prices come in, I can get deliveries brought in if we feel we're gonna need them, between November, December. I'm hoping for continuation of a mild winters.
They're not saying we're gonna, they're saying we're gonna.
They said it
have
last year. They said
a-
last year was supposed to be terrible, and we had
Okay.
February was a tough month, but other
Yeah, it
than
was,
that,
yeah.
Now
it
you're
wasn't
jinxing
bad.
us talking about it.
what's that?
You're jinxing us 'cause you're
No,
talking
I'm
about
knocking. I'm knocking, John.
Knocking the whole time.
I'm covering everything.
All right.
Yeah, in all honesty, our numbers are right there in line with what we were asking for in '25. I did a quick math in my head. I think we're around 4.2% increase, something like that. And most of that would be, payroll. And, when healthcare comes in, and there's gonna be an uptick in healthcare when that comes in. But other than that, everything else is pretty much, is set across. We can go line by line if you'd like. If there's a question on any individual line that we can talk about. We have a lot of, overtime has gone up. We have been having a lot of overtime. This year, we're way over in overtime between auto accidents and getting called off of downed trees and weather-related calls. But that's definitely on the uptick. Vehicle maintenance, we're gonna, of course, with the CIP and with the warrants, we're all gonna talk about vehicles. I have 2 vehicles that are down hard right now, needing extensive repairs. And I don't have the money in my budget to repair them. I'm trying to get creative and do with that, but we'll see how that goes. But vehicles are gonna are gonna continue to be an issue that we have to work on.
Road sweeping's up?
Road sweeping, now with the MS4 rules, the federal government, we have to sweep twice a year now. So we need to do it, we need to do an early spring and we need to do a late fall sweeping. So that's something that's out of our control.
Catch basins are up too for the same reason, right?
Catch basins, you know, we've talked about catch basins quite a bit. We've got a lot of older infrastructure. We have a lot of things we need to work on, and, you know, I'm using the money when I can to repair. That line this year went over $500, stuff that we needed to do. You know, my intent is to ask for a warrant for more paving money, which will go towards also that infrastructure, Ness and Keg infrastructure. But all I can do is ask.
Yeah, I watched your presentation at CIP, so I think I understand where you're coming from.
Right, you know.
I think the building part of your ask was long overdue, to be honest with you.
And, you know, something I think that would benefit our equipment, it would benefit the longevity of our equipment and would help it all out, and it's the right use of that money.
Well, it keeps it out of the weather too, which is something you,
That's it, you know, and I pretty much, I don't know if you didn't watch the CIP, I pretty much explained, the killer of our equipment is salt. And it's the nature of our business, and we use it, we wash it, it becomes a brine. And when the truck sits outside, it gets warm, it gets cold, and you get that moisture, and it reactivates that salt, so it's continuously eating away. We need to get those out of the weather and to a garage, wash them, clean them, get them in a garage, get them into a dry environment, and they'll just last longer. It's, you know, common
getting-
sense, I think.
yeah, getting them out of the sun all year round would be nice too.
Right, and, you know, and we have one garage bay, you know, so if we have a breakdown and we have a truck inside that garage bay, then everything's outside. You know, we have no, you know, we have one heated bay. So we need more space, and that's just, you know, and I'm trying not to go to the public and ask for a warrant, ask for money for it. We're trying to do it through impact fees, which is the proper way, you know, for our department, you know, for the size of what we need. So we're looking, you know, you'll hear about it, we're looking for, you know, 120 by 40 garage with 6 bays. And that'll be the start, and then hopefully, you know, we'll get more impact fees, maybe we can put up another bay for the larger trucks.
Thank you to the state legislature for changing the.
Right?
Yeah, thank you
Change
so
the
much.
laws.
Yep, that House bill passing, apparently it's an issue all around.
Yeah.
Any questions for Kevin?
So do you think you have enough with the culverts that you think are failing at the rate they're failing that's in here?
In here?
Yeah,
No,
that's not in here.
absolutely not.
Okay,
That's why I want the warrant for $200,000 for road maintenance.
okay,
Yeah, there's absolutely not enough.
okay.
You know, the
'cause that's always like-
15,500 we have in here is 3 or 4 catch basin repairs.
Okay,
You know, and like we talked about earlier, Ness and Keg needs a half a mile of underground pipe.
Yep.
So that it is not, there's not enough in my entire budget to, you know, between road maintenance and catch basin maintenance to repair that.
Yeah, 12,000 of your budget is mandated by the MS4
Yep.
Catch basin cleanouts, sweeping,
sweeping,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? It's not even something I can say, hey, we'll pass on this yet, we'll do it,
Yeah.
you know? I wish I could. But the catch basin cleanings, you know, just to get an idea, our MS4 area, we have to measure them, and if they're above 60% full, then we have to clean them. So we don't have to clean every single one, but we've got 1,000 catch basins in
Still
town.
gotta
So I
touch
usually
everything.
get,
It's a
the
lot of-
amount of
it's a
money I
lot of
have,
work, yeah.
I get about 300 done a year, so, you know, in the MS4 area, you do about 100, and then 200 sprinkled a bit about the town. And I try and make it so that, you know, south, middle, north, south, middle, north.
You're still outsourcing the cleaning, right? So the
Yeah.
special truck, yeah.
Yeah, it's an expensive truck,
Yeah,
you know? We tried that route, and,
a little more expensive than we thought.
yeah, it's way more expensive than we thought.
All right, any other questions for Kevin as it relates to road maintenance? Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you all. Hope you get out in a
We're
reasonable
gonna get
hour.
out at a reasonable hour. All right, hang on a second. Conservation's here and planning's here, so can we pull, you can fight it out which one you wanna go first, but I'll pull you guys forward to get you out of here.
You're on the outside there.
All right, so planning's gonna come up first, which is 4191.10.
There we are.
Evening, Michael, how are you?
Good evening. Michael Croto, 6 Garden Drive, Chair of the Litchfield Planning Board.
So I show your budget as being down by $3,478.
Do you wanna defend that?
I actually think it's down because of the default, right? It's down because of the default? Is that why? Because the default looks it's higher than what they asked for
So
last
the
year.
default's 47, but yeah, the department proposed last year was 41.6. But I'm going to apologize.
Is a math
to-
problem there?
No, I'm gonna apologize to Mr. Croto because, the only change I don't think I got to speak to him about was the, CIP contract. So
Okay.
I adjusted the NRPC contract a little and put in the $2,000 for the CIP
I
contract.
see.
Because I didn't find that anywhere.
Right.
Um,
Or you're just calling it out now? You were burying, it was being covered by something else, but not called out in the budget before?
if it was buried, it was buried very well.
I mean, he was getting paid, but it wasn't getting paid out of
Yes,
line
it
with
was
the track,
getting paid,
so.
yes.
But even with that, he's still, his budget's down 3478, so it would have been down 54. So you're still in his thunder.
Yes, so last 2025, we budgeted 41.
Yep.
Well, then he's up actually, so. It's up by 3. The math, I think the math is not working somewhere.
No, the
No, it's the
department
difference in the
2025
default.
versus proposed is comparing the proposed versus the default.
Yeah,
I got you.
it's the approved
I got
budget.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, the
Yeah, I
default was
know.
higher.
Catching on, guys. It's gonna be scary.
Well, because it says 2025 versus proposed, but that's,
Well, your
I
2025
wanna
budget
see.
is the default,
gotcha, okay.
unfortunately.
Yep. I don't see anything out of whack, so.
Reducing the amount of hours for your admin.
Yeah, what is it? You're going from 20 to 15 on the assistant, admin, the planning board assistant? Is that what it is?
So,
Well.
did she, it was a request.
Yeah, it was.
All right, we
That's true.
don't want to talk about it here, so. Okay.
Okay.
Is that, but that's still a good number? Okay.
But the planner's going up by that, by. Did the hours, did the rate change for our planner?
Not
It's
really.
still
no.
$75 an hour.
Jay's been very good. with
Yeah,
us.
Jay's very
He's been
good.
all along, so
Yep.
he's always good about that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's well worth the money, that's for sure.
All right, if there are no questions, thank you very much for coming out. this
All right,
evening.
well, thank you.
Sorry for dragging you in here.
That's okay. I dragged myself. Okay, guys.
We'll take conservation next, which is, as soon as I can find it, 4611.
Actually, I am a member of conservation.
Sure, you can say.
Yeah.
Kim, could I steal the,
It's 4611.
You want to project?
Oh,
maker person? Very, very short presentation. Matt Hoffman, Chair of Conservation Commission, 38 Brickyard Drive. So we're just here to present our budget request for 2026. So I just wanted to start off, so we have a work order system that we put in place, and John
I should have
helped us.
never have given Jason any access to any AI or anything like that. Just throw it anywhere I turn around.
Just took 2 minutes.
So we use that system to try to log all our, all the work that the Conservation Commission does, as well as it's a means for the public to be able to input requests, right? If they're walking a trail, they see a concern, they can report it to us, so we can, we can address it. So on the major properties, we have QR codes that are linked to the system where people can put in maintenance requests for us, or to report any sort of concerns that they have. So this is just a quick summary of what we've done. So, you know, it shows all the different properties that we work on, the number of tickets that we've addressed for each one of those, and then I just put in some quick stats there. So in 2024, we had a total of 239 tickets and about 500 hours work that Conservation Commission members have done. In this year to date, we've already exceeded the hours for that, and we've still got a lot of the year left to go. The tickets are down a little bit, but we're just doing more for each ticket. So just to show you what we've been doing. And I know there's been a lot of talk about making this available to the public. So right now it's available for anybody with a litchfield.gov or litchfieldnh.gov email address, and we can always make a summary of this, or make it read-only access available to the public as well, if that's needed. Getting to the budget requests, so we were consistent between 2024 and 2025. We didn't request any increases, but for 2026, we are requesting a $300 increase, and that's specifically to support the ice fishing derby. So we held our first ice fishing derby this year. It was very well received by the town. We probably had we estimate 150 Litchfield residents and friends that attended there. Everybody had a good time, and we'd like to keep it going as an annual tradition if we can, weather permitting. But there is some costs associated with it for supplies, you know, minnows, hot chocolate, coffee, propane, just you know, whatever we generally need to support it. So we've got a big budget request for an additional $300 for the year. And then just a quick summary of what we're planning to do with the money. So we're hoping to be able to close on the DeRoche's property this month sometime. So with that, there's a lot of work that we're gonna have to do with that. We're gonna have to put in a couple kiosks on either side of the road, build parking areas, and you know, improve the trail system there, just make sure it's safe for the public. And not just down to the river. There's a huge amount of property that goes into that's all wooded land. It'd be nice to be able to put some trails in there for the public as well. So that's a big goal. Another big thing we're working on now is, as you know, we have an intern that's been working on documenting a lot of our historical properties, working with historical commission and the Heritage Commission to get a lot of that information, actually get it documented. We're putting together an interactive website so people can click on the different properties and learn a bunch about the properties. But as the second part of that project, what we want to do is putting signage at all the areas of interest around town. So between the muster field, Moore's Falls, Parker Park, there's a lot of stuff, probably about 20 signs we'd like to put in. And what we're proposing for the signs is not like the typical signs you see with a 4x4 with a piece of plywood and some laminated paper on top. That stuff doesn't last, so we'd like to do something a lot more permanent. So maybe like a 4x6 inch post with some painted aluminum sides or some equivalent, you know, something that's going to last 15, 20 years. Put it in there, and on those posts it'd have, you know, a brief history of that specific area of interest, but then also a QR code that'll link directly to this interactive website that we're putting together for it. So I think that'd be a real benefit. I don't know if anybody's walked around like Musquash and Londonderry. They've got something very similar for it, and it's you know, it's real nice. And you know, our big goal for that is to be able to finish that before the 250th celebration next year. I think that'd be real nice for the town. And then we have all the usual equipment maintenance and property maintenance and improvement stuff that we do for all the other properties. And again, the fishing derbies are a big part of our budget. We want to make sure we can do the spring and the ice fishing derby as possible. We've got the regular stuff for dues and subscriptions and stuff that we have to do. So, you know, we are asking for an increase. I mean, even with our budget, it's not gonna cover all our costs, but we'll get creative to cover the gap. But we would at least like to ask for that additional $300. That's all I got.
Nice.
You accomplish very much with very little, as always. It's always interesting to see all your job tickets, how many hours are volunteered, created and generated, and there was a call that came in, at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and George Lavash responded to it at like 12:20 or something. I mean, it was like 20 minutes, about a tree over I think it's probably a tree across a trail,
Yeah,
but.
it's at Parker Park.
Parker
Yeah, it's
Park.
good to have retired people on your commission.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
really
for two-
nice to
You got
have.
two very hard-working retired people.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're getting
You
some
really are good.
young blood in it too now, so.
Yeah. Who started at the garden?
Yep.
Yeah,
This, Adrian?
Eden.
Yeah, eight.
Yep, he's very, very nice kid.
Nice. Any questions for conservation?
Not at all.
Any reductions, any increases? No? Okay.
It's sad, $300 is a 10% increase, almost, you know.
Yeah.
But the fishing derby, considering, I'm gonna say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was dead. It wasn't going on for years. And then over the years, it's been coming back, and now, it draws a lot of attention, and then the addition of the ice fishing was huge. It's definitely brought a big draw.
Yeah, and the kids seem to really like the dock that went in at Dara too. and
Yeah,
There's people
that's-
there all the
A
time now.
lot of people down
so-
there now, yeah.
Just costs
And hopefully that
pyramids.
milfoil treatment will take effect. I don't know if we'll see much benefit this year, but next year it should,
Love to see
Should
people
clean it
swimming
up
out
quite a
there
bit.
again.
Oof. All it costs was a red pair of sneakers.
Yeah. Those went right into the trash. They were not coming back on my feet. All right, Matt, thank you.
Sure.
Michael, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks
Next
for
up
everything
will
you do.
be, street lighting, 431630. 43,
It's a good day to sit beside me there.
4316.30. And Diane, when you're looking at it, you're looking at the same page we're on, right, up here?
Yeah,
Blank. Okay, you get the same size, everything?
everything, yep,
Okay, perfect.
yep. Mr. Larry was very helpful,
Awesome, I knew I put you guys together for a reason.
very helpful.
All right,
So we didn't make any changes to street lighting, because we believed that, we went down a tad bit because of the expense in 2024. We think somewhere around mid-fives, 55, 5,600, 5,700 is gonna be our sweet spot. That seems to be where we're coming out. But I have to say, I mean, this was a project, back with a former TA, and this was definitely a very successful project
Yeah,
for the
huge
town.
savings.
Huge.
And the lights are brighter.
yeah.
And so Highway's been working on getting some additional bulbs and things of that sort, and, but other than that, the program is tremendous.
Are we starting to see failures of the LEDs, or are they still fairly strong and?
They're fairly strong. The ones we did have, we had a couple, they were hit. They were, there was
Yeah.
damage by a tree, yeah. It wasn't just from the bulb. Yeah,
So not prematurely failing.
yes, but he did get a couple extra that he has.
Yep.
All right, any questions or changes? None?
No. I like how it went from 2021, we're spending $22,000 a year, and now we're looking at roughly $6,000 a year. So
That number was from the investment.
Yeah, some of it
Oh,
was.
that's
The
true.
year
You gotta
before
pay
was
for a
the
lot,
more
you gotta pay
accurate
half or something like that.
The average was 13,
Yeah.
roughly 13, so
Yeah,
we
it's a
still
good- It was a good return on our investment,
Yeah.
though.
almost cut it in half.
All right, if there's nothing on this one, we'll move over to accounting, which is 4550.10. Ms. Kleiner and
That's Karen.
Ms.
That's
White.
me.
Yeah.
So mine's all really wages, and then my software support for the new payroll and accounting system and, the audit. Those are really my big three.
So the
increases.
software and support, that's something we already agreed to several meetings back. This is reflected in the 2026 budget, which interestingly enough, I'm not sure we're even gonna see. We may not see this depending on when we actually get installed.
Oh, really?
We don't know how to predict it. So, but that's what it'll be going forward anyway. And then $1,000 increase on the audit, roughly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we should need a, single audit, and actually, the single audit for federal grants went from 750,000 up to $1 million. And a single audit is $6,000 if you get grants, federal
For $1
grants.
million or higher now.
So we had to do one last year for the opera.
Yep. Okay. Any questions for Ms. White? No? All right, we'll move on to the next one. It will be reevaluation of property. Mr. Leary's favorite topic. 4152.10.
And so there's no change here, but we are at a contract end. And we have intentionally left it flat, as I know we had discussed an RFP.
Right.
Which I hope to have to you for your next meeting to approve.
Okay.
And then we can issue.
Any questions?
Since Susie with the utility appraisals, are we seeing the value back from the work that he is doing?
So, remember, this is twofold. Mr. Sansucci
Want to
is
take
the
over too?
expert on the water.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
And
Utility
this year, this is the one piece that I am waiting for the revaluation, because they're working on the revaluation of the utilities to bring them up to market value, so we should see some healthy increase.
Okay. All right. Board of Selectmen, 4130.10.
Okay, and so you have salaries, if it comes up, there we go. And this is, myself and the administrative assistant, which is, works also with building. The other increases that I really left in there, we had discussed them last year. It was having more money available for training of the boards. You'll notice we put in an office supply line at 620, account 620. That was really for the boards and the commissions, because they were saying that they have nowhere in the budget any money for supplies and things that they need. So we had put that in, and I proposed it again for 2026. And then the same in line 811, training. You have the $1,500, which is the training that's in my contract. And then we put $2,000 of training in for the boards, members of the boards, which they have been taking advantage of. When we see training come out, we send it out to all the boards and commissions. And we have had people taking advantage of that, so, I think that's a very worthwhile expenditure.
Do we have any tracking on how much of that's been spent? I don't see it in here, but like, do we know? Because the budget committee cut it last year.
Right.
They cut that and they cut supplies last year, even though we said we needed it because we don't track it anyplace else. So do we have any, specifically training, do we know how much of the $1,000 or whatever do we know how much money's been spent this past year on training?
No, but I could look it up on
We
BMSN.
had
go
to
to
take
defend-
it out of somewhere else.
Yeah, when we go to defend it to the
Line.
budget committee, I like to have, well, these people are taking training, it is a value, we do wanna make sure our
Right,
boards and
right,
commissions are
right.
trained. So I think they've always sided where no one's doing it, and I think there are people doing it. And we are offering free stuff too, so not everything costs.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right,
we
right,
have.
yeah.
And I think the supply thing is the same argument, and we gotta take it somewhere, they're gonna need it. We can't deny them pens and paper, if
It's
they need it.
come out of accounting,
It comes out of-
supplies,
Comes out of
office
the
supplies,
So, yeah.
because we had nothing else.
My thing here is this $22,000 for the website maintenance. 22, is that what it is?
Yep.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Is there any way we can reduce that number?
So I will say that $22,000 is not just the website, it's the platform that we're on. It's the mass notification system, it's the ticketing system, it's a bunch of modules inside it.
Okay,
This platform is a platform that's used by a lot of communities around us, the same exact platform.
okay.
I don't know where we could reduce it.
Yeah.
If
Or,
you,
or the alternatives that we looked at. What were we on before? We were on,
we were on,
our own homegrown.
yeah, we were on, I can't even remember that.
Yeah, I
name now.
don't think of it either, but this Civic
It
Plus
was
is.
self- it was self-maintained, so the last,
2023, we were at $50,000 almost, so, I mean, it's
well,
down.
that was the implementation
the
cost, because that was implementation
Yeah.
cost on that, and we dropped it down, so.
Yeah.
I guess, Diane, my point is that, sure, we maybe be able to find another platform, now we gotta migrate, and we're only probably saving ourselves a couple $1,000s. The platform. is
I'm
where
not
the
saying to
money-
migrate, but I'm just wondering if we can't take it in-house.
In-house.
Not to
Not
stay,
for that
no,
cost.
that's where we were before, and unfortunately, with all the ADA compliant issues and the Disability Act stuff, those other platforms don't have those modules. We'd have to hire a designer to
Okay.
develop all the templates, and then we could do that, but
Okay.
you're talking about a significant amount of increase on that to do it up front, and then we have to maintain it internally. Now, we're maintaining this internally now. It's been turned over. We totally take care of it ourselves.
Okay.
All the content gets put up by us.
These are our license fees for all the modules?
It's all part of the cost, yeah.
So we were on WordPress.
Yeah,
Thank you,
WordPress. I
Jason.
don't know why. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, WordPress, which we hosted it, not here, we hosted it in the cloud, but it was a WordPress. We had to buy all the modules we put into it. We had to develop all the templates ourselves.
Very,
None of us are web designers, so we'd have to.
very inconsistent look and feel, so each one had their own.
Yeah, and before we had 1, 2, 3, I think we had 5 different hosting sites.
Yeah.
So we combined it all. It's not perfect. But I'm saying, my argument there, my point there is I think if you were to find another platform and try to pull it back in-house, after you pay a designer to go off and make it designed, make it look right and all that stuff, and then we just put content on it, you're probably looking at just as much money, if not more, to maintain it over the years. That's all. I would, I was gonna say, maybe if you wanna do a comparative, look at the school's website.
Okay.
Because
Is
I
it
think
really?
I think they have a platform they host it on. I know I think some of the kids are doing it in design class, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do believe it's hosted by a similar company. But people may know better more than I, but.
Is it
I-
much higher than ours too?
I don't think so. I think it's probably, if I would say it's probably around the same cost.
Okay.
Now, we have a few extra modules the school probably wouldn't have, like mass notification, they wouldn't have that, right? We have that because we had another platform that we took over, right? So we reduced one budget like $5,000 or $6,000, we put it all into this $22,000. So we took costs out of one line and moved it over here to total. So it looks like web hosting, but it's not just the web page, the website, it's a few other things that's associated with it.
Okay, just had to ask.
Nope, it's fine. Gotta ask questions.
Yeah, we have evaluated
Living
a
and
couple
learning.
options and decided to go with Civic Plus.
Yeah, and I mean, I know in the beginning, I wasn't a fan because of the cost, but I will say, having been on the platform for about 2 years and dealing with it, it's been much more stable, a lot less of a heavy lift from most perspective. And the department heads are able to do their own thing if they want to do it. If they want to invest the time, they can. The town clerk, one of their clerks took it over and done an amazing job on their pages. It
Yeah.
looks very organized. it follows the same, they look and feels the same across all the pages,
This is.
but they
one of
have
the-
their specific
yeah,
contents.
This is one of the girls that works
One of
there.
Terry's staff,
Yeah,
yep.
Terry.
Yep, she's done a great job.
Less
To the point where I
demand.
tried to steal her to do other ones, and I was chastised.
No,
Yeah.
no?
Since when?
And less demand on you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got other things I can do. Any other questions?
What's the big raise
There's
there?
like a,
Yeah, that was about it, I think.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, obviously there's salaries, yeah.
Yeah.
And training was the other one, so the training supplies, website, and salaries were the.
Oh, yeah, the big change here is because last year's budget default did not have the 22.
That's right.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would have been consistent.
So if you
would've-
if you compare it to the 2025
Proposed.
department proposed, it's
right, which is
actually
why I
down.
wanted that in
It's
there.
down to
Yep,
it, yeah.
that was,
Yes.
that's helpful.
All right, any other questions or anything else on Board of Selectmen?
No, I just would say there's a 2026 totals page at the very beginning, and that compares the 2025 proposed to 2026 proposed. So if you did want to go back, it can be
The first link.
confusing, yeah. So when you get a chance, and if you want to look around.
It's a lot over there.
I have one question on 344,
34,
the clerical support.
Ah, yes, so that is brand new as of this afternoon. So, our, note taker, minute taker, who does a phenomenal job, did approach, and we did talk about it proposing a 5% increase. Over the years, the number of meetings has significantly risen. You know, the amount of meetings that he does here versus over at the school is night and day. There's about 16 meetings a month. Yeah, think of all our days or nights are generally
Yeah.
booked.
Yeah.
You know, we hope to have some committees that may end, like economic development and things, but for right now, that's what is proposed, an increase.
I will say that, and we don't talk about it in the budget, but the demand on LCTV to do it, and, cause he does it based on if he's not physically here, they do physically come here sometimes, but most of the time they're taking it off the recordings. It's made that role much more important, and
Yes.
when it's technical, this is why I run over him as a technical problem, cause I gotta make sure it gets recorded, otherwise I'm getting a phone call to get it recovered, and it's more
Right.
work on the back end, but we're getting a good steal, I'm concerned that we are relying on a medium to do it versus someone physically here. It's been definitely working out really well, I do agree, the minutes are by far the best I've ever seen, over the town years. So much suggesting, I think, just be realized that there is another, without that, there's not that. So that means that cost will go way up if if they have to be physically here all the time.
So even when I was at meetings and doing minutes though, I used to go back and watch again and do the minutes from the
From the video,
backup.
yeah.
Even here, I mean, you don't take shorthand, you need to be able to go back.
Is he doing
Well, I
all
still
the,
have a question.
all the commissions now, right, pretty much?
ZBA,
much, yeah.
planning, COMCOM, yes, all
Yeah,
of them.
because kind of pulled him in, he started doing one, they're like,
Yeah.
hey, can you?
And then everybody wanted
I
it,
think-
and,
I think
yeah.
Oh, I remember begging.
I think it's worked out
"Please,
for 'em really
please,
well,
go
to be
on,
honest
don't
with
make
you.
me do that anymore.
So, yeah, I asked a question about that because Heritage Commission has asked for some support, but they need to come forward to ask for this because Heritage Commission was started with no money, right? It was started with a short amount of money, a small amount of
but
money
he's
to
doing
get signs.
Heritage. I guess the question now is
I don't see it in the write-up here.
250th.
But
He
that's a
does do Heritage, he
sub,
just
right?
doesn't
That would
do
be
the
that would be
200.
a subcommittee
He's not doing the 250.
now.
But this doesn't say Heritage in here, so that's what I was
Yeah, I'm
questioning.
sorry,
It's there,
that's
yeah.
my mistake, Kim, he does.
He does have.
So Heritage Commission does have no?
He does, yes.
It's just the Yeah, it's just the 250th that they're
Again, it's
still
not my
working
role
on.
to say that. If they want it, they have to come up with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
You're
got
saying
it.
it's already covered, so.
There we
Alright.
go, yeah.
Yeah.
We record their meetings, we either were there, I've been in remote places to record their meetings so we can get them in minutes, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice to hear.
They're usually like really quick though.
Yeah, they are.
Good.
He's worth.
They're gonna
whatever
get
we
longer
pay.
now because of the 250.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other questions on that budget? Moving on to legal expenses, 4153.10.
Okay.
It's like you're proposing a
Well,
4,500, well, that's just because of the fall, right? So $4,500 increase, which is the same as what we originally proposed in 2025,
yes, so it's,
level fund.
I did hold it, from what we proposed in 2025. We've actually, I think we're seeing a decrease in, the amount other than, we had some extensive legal work that needed to be done. We'll have more extensive legal work that needs to be done if we start to move in certain directions, but we have that warrant article money. But, again, I think holding this steady, it's always worth to have it in the budget.
Mhm.
Should, unfortunately, you need it.
And I think if you look at expenditures over the years, $25,000 is reasonable.
Yeah, I think that, you saw that 33 in 2023.
And the 57 in 2022 and
Yeah,
So we
Those
had
are-
significant,
those were unique years,
Yep.
unfortunately. Hopefully, we don't have those
Yeah.
kind again.
yes, hopefully.
Okay. Any other questions on legal expenses? Or proposal changes or anything? Getting way too easy. We'll move on to welfare vendor payments, 4445.2.
So traditionally, and we discussed this last year, not having this in the budget, here. So we
Goes-
traditionally, budget $1,
And then warrant
and
it.
then we, yeah.
Mhm.
And let's move to the.
what number was that again?
4445.2. I think it's actually 445 in the sheet.
And
Okay.
so,
When you're all set, we can move on to the next one.
4445-2 I have as vendor payments.
Yep, that's what it's called, yeah.
yeah, I
It's really welfare vendor, it's
Okay,
was,
just a sec, let me just peek at it.
all buck.
I mean, I do want the board to still know that this is an issue. Right, so we have seen significantly, the need. And we still, are quite busy. So it's not as if this has gone away.
Yeah, because it was $31,000 in 2024. Do you know what you're up to already in 2025?
Yeah, I brought it in. Sometimes Karen's much faster than I am.
Yeah, 4445.
4445. And I know I looked at it and it was very similar to last
Yeah, I think you've gone to,
year. Brought it in significantly because I knew this question would come up.
I would assume
here it
based
is.
on the activity that.
So $17,415 so far.
To date.
Right, so
Most of
it's trending like half of,
Most
What
of
they
it
have.
housing,
It'll
It's all
get tougher.
housing.
majority
Yeah, it's
of
gonna
it is
get,
housing.
it'll probably get worse in the winter time too. Yep. As the cold weather comes. Any other questions on vendor payments? Seeing none, moving on to patriotic purposes, 458310.
So, as everyone knows, I work with the historic, committee on this, and they did not ask for any changes. But this in the past is the money that's used for the memorial celebration. And then in the past, they've been very good at having extra money left over. And so. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's all right, my phone already went
Did
off.
yours go off too?
Yeah.
So in the past, like last year, we are able to purchase some flags, with the leftover remaining money, but they did not ask for any increase this year.
As I'm looking at this, is it possible that, cause I mean, we're looking at what we budgeted last year and what we're budgeting for next year, but in asking where we are as far as spending money this year, we're kinda don't have where we are on this.
On the front
No.
page, on the front
Oh, the
page
front
of the
page.
it's called, the 2026 totals.
Okay.
That's
that's
what
I,
you see, that's what
I
expenditures
put a
are.
column just for that as of the end of June, so at least you got halfway through this year,
Okay,
what has been spent for in total.
2020,
I think it's the first tab, but I
2026.
agree. You've got the 2024, but you don't know what we spent so
Yeah, it
far
would be,
this year.
be nice to have them.
So I think
There it
it's
is, okay.
column M, yep.
$996 so far for patriotic purposes.
And that was your Memorial Day celebration.
Okay.
So. There's that.
Any other questions on Patriot purposes? Moving on to debt service, 471110.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, that's a weird one. 472310 or
Yeah, it's like,
71110. It's just all on the
it-
same.
yeah, it's 4711, I think is what it is.
What?
Karen?
I got 4723.
Yes,
Yeah, it's,
472310.
the way it's in the sheet, the way it's 4320, it's 472310 on the sheet, but then on the, yeah, it's. what-
Oh, okay,
it's debt
good.
Yeah,
service.
because some of it's interest, some of it's a
Okay.
tax anticipation note, and those are different account numbers. So you got principal has one account, interest has account, and the debt service, but the debt service is the one that's 4723. And that's one we always carried, and then when we got the fire station bond, we added the other two and just put it on the same
Yeah,
sheet.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so it's, for 160 for the, principal and 103,628.
And this is related to
The
the fire
interest.
station.
Yeah,
This is
that's
your
the fire
payment
station bond.
5 of 20. So,
just 5 or 20.
I don't know, is it 5 of
What's
20?
5
It's gotta
years?
be more, right?
It's 5, well, it's 5 years old,
Yeah,
right?
a little
5 years
more
old.
than that.
Yes.
I might not have changed
It actually may be
that
6,
number.
because I
Feels
think
like
it's,
it's
it was
long.
5 years old last
I
year.
don't remember
feel
changing
call it
that.
6.
Make that 6.
Yeah, because I don't remember changing that.
Well, let's get over that 25% part.
Does that make everybody feel better?
It's 6 of 20, 6 of 20.
6 to 20, there we go.
Because it went up, it
Oh,
was
there
in
it says right there.
2019 is when we,
About that, yeah. Yeah, 17, and
Wasn't
we
here.
went through the process, yeah. I mean, it should say right
we
under
spent
the
a lot of
info,
time in
too.
2018 and 2019 in that building. Pulling cables and all that other stuff. All right, any questions on debt service?
Nope.
Oh, we're moving right along. Zoning board, 419130.
Oh, we might even be more than that now, actually.
So,
Double check what that is and fix it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, because I don't think I've changed that.
we did share this, with the chair of the zoning board. It was reviewed, by our code enforcement officer. We kept the seminars, at the 750, which we proposed in 2025. We did have, couple members of zoning that went to the BEA session and that, does generally have a cost, so we kept that for, again, for 2026. Other than that, it's remained.
So it's up by 250.
Yeah. Which is that line.
Yeah, definitely encourage training.
Well, especially with all the changes that are happening at the state level
Zoning.
with zoning. We have a lot to learn.
More training.
Now, on the public notices and ads, right, we collect revenue on that side, don't we? Do we collect revenue for those and we wash that out eventually?
We,
For zoning?
for zoning is $100 an application.
Okay.
And then so where are you on zoning?
55.5.
670. Periodicals, and then above it, 555.
Yeah, we're showing, if the fee's $100, why are we charging $1.75?
That's for ads.
But don't
I don't
don't they
think
pay
it's-
don't they pay the fees for the ads too?
They pay
No,
the
for the
mailing
abutter
of the
notices.
abutters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
abutter
The mailing and then
notices.
we
So
have
the
this thing.
application is supposed to,
Okay,
be that fee, really.
but the application fee right now for zoning is $100.
That they pay, yes.
Okay,
For the abutter.
all right, so we have to
The
make up the 75
application,
for
and
that.
then they write a check
All right,
for the abutter notices.
Although I'll say, if you look at the expenses in that line, it's significantly been low. That's because overall the need to advertise in the paper has changed over the years. So now it's, there's still specific things, like a bond vote, you'd have to go in a newspaper, but the majority of things we can just post on our website and in two places, library and here, and that meets the state obligation.
yeah, I guess the budget committee approved 600, I'm trying to remember the logic behind that. And I'm guessing they looked at the actuals and looked at the average.
Yeah, I think they noticed that you don't have to go to the paper as much as you used to.
So I'm wondering if we should consider reducing it.
It's definitely an area that would probably be safe.
Yeah, it probably might be in our best interest to at least drop something, or they're gonna say we're not doing that job.
I'll make a motion that we reduce, line 555 to $1,000, so reducing it by $750.
I second it.
Motion has been made by myself, seconded by Ms. Plansky. And that's discussion. My rationale is just to get it closer to where I think is what the expenditure's gonna be, and, I don't think $600 is the right number neither, but,
No, I would agree with you.
so I'm kinda cutting the edge, I guess.
But we haven't been
And we don't know, it's not.
over
it's a-
1750, so yeah, I think
Yeah, and the
$1,000
problem we
is-
have is it's a demand thing. We don't know how much we're gonna get, right? So it's not like we can predict it. So, and now with all the ADUs coming around, you never know, maybe we'll have more. So, anyway, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 3-0. All right. Any other changes? Okay, moving on to the next one. Will be cemeteries. 4195.
And working with the trustees of the cemeteries, they have asked for no increase of their budget. They were all very satisfied with the gentleman that is performing the maintenance, he has stayed true to his costs. So you'll find it's the same as what was proposed in 2025. Unfortunately, the default budget makes it look like there's an increase, but
Right. So it's flat compared to
Flat.
what the budget committee approved and what they asked for, so.
Do we have, is a year-to-year contract, or do we a 3-year stint?
So, we went out for RFP twice, actually.
Yeah.
And then this contract was year to year with 3 extensions, so
Okay.
3 years. And so next year they would go out again.
Okay.
Any questions, changes, modifications? Seeing none? Okay. Next up is information technology. So I'm gonna step off. Steve, if you can share the rest of this for a moment.
What number is it? Right there.
4150.20.
4150.20.
Just make this all official.
So,
Can you get by me?
23 actual 189, 24 budget was 211, actual was 210, proposed was 250, approved was 211, proposed is 231, an increase of 19,000. The big increase is equipment maintenance. That basically is subscription fees you have to pay for services. One of them is the first the line item, VMware subscription maintenance. That's a contract that you have to sign with this company, and this company's been sold 3 times in the last year.
Yes, sir.
And being familiar with them, they have they're going hard. They gave the company I work for a 40% increase in support costs, and they changed their licensing model, and that's a substantial increase as well. So that's one of those things that, you pay them until you can find an alternative. Either way, it's gonna be expensive, and it's nothing you could do quickly without being disruptive. Go software, support, antivirus, Office backup suites, Microsoft Service.
Yeah, I would,
Google.
I mean, just to hit on Steve's point, so,
Yep.
again, the only increases, I've tried to keep as much flat to 2025 as I originally asked for, prior to the default. So the only real increase was, in 342, which is software support. The biggest driver there was our Google services. We continue to put more people on the platform because we get more volunteers, we get more employees. That's where the number comes up from there. That increased from 16 to 21,600 from default. So that's where that increase is. And then the other, all the other increases are kind of small. They're just little bumps here and there because everything's gone up about 2 to 5% across the board for all the services that we use. So that's the real change there. As Steve was talking about in 630, which is equipment maintenance, that's where that VMware line is. This all sits on a platform we bought 4 years ago or so. And the only time when you're gonna change a platform, you're gonna wait till your life cycle off that platform, right? So the hardware costs will be fully vested.
Capitalized. Yeah.
Capitalized in 2026. So in 2027, we're gonna look to get off the platform. When the company was originally purchased, they did come after us for about $10,000. We were able to negotiate 8 the first year. This past year, we were able to negotiate 63. I'm hoping to be able to negotiate a little smaller next, and come 2026, but I can't talk to them until it's actually up in 2026. But right now, what I was able to pay in this default year, I was able to get 63. We're gonna try to hold them to that number. So that's what we're gonna try to do.
That's a good deal.
But as Steve said, they have been doing nothing but a money grab since they bought this company. And every large enterprise, every town in this town, I've talked to counterparts around the state who are running on this platform are experiencing the same problem.
Yeah.
So what used to be a very cost-effective way of doing it has become an expensive way of doing it. So that's the increase. With regards to the other increase in that line was I had to increase the maintenance around my public safety equipment, the communications towers across the town. The reason why I increased it from 8,000, I originally typically asked for 10, we get negotiated to 8, and then something happens. So in the default, we had 8. I'm asking for 12, and the reason for that is I've already had to replace two years in a row, $6,000 worth of equipment at each one of the sites, due to weather, due to damage, due to winds or something like that. But I also, in this upcoming year, I'm going to need to replace some of the UPS units that are in the cabinets, and those are about $1,000 a pop. So they're come to the end of their life. They need battery replacements. The batteries are more expensive than the units half the time, so it's easier to replace the unit. So that's what we're doing, or considering to do. So that's where that change is. And then in purchasing, the cost is, it's at least the $740. That is the cost for the 3 copiers that we have across the town. That's the lease we've been paying for past couple of years. It's a 5-year lease. And then we have our cost for the computers. If you recall, last year I asked for the computers to be done. These are fully brand-new ones because they're replacing things that have older monitors and, aging equipment. I asked for $88.75. We actually found the money at the end of the year and took it out of the budget. I'm just returning it back to where it is. We've been doing a 5-year computer replacement cycle over the last 15, 20 years that I've been doing this, and it's worked out well. We're always recycling good computers to next computer, then out the door computers, based on use in the town. So that's been working out well. And like I said, copier, that's been the same cost. The next one is $741. It says equipment leases, but this is actually the usage cost. So it's just the toner cost, some of the materials, the maintenance items of those copiers. This is the run rate quarter by quarter. It's based on past couple of quarters. That's the math, the average that is there.
Does that include, I noticed at Conway, so do they do support
PMs.
calls and
Yes,
PMs?
PMs, yep. PMs will come out, plus they'll order the supplies, which will be like cleaning kits and stuff like that. It's all included in that waste. And, we basically pay a per copy. When we print, we pay per page.
Yep.
When it's color in black and white, that's why we try to restrict color, but, we do have a lot of things that have to go out color too, so we have that flexibility. And that cost has been going up every year only because we're doing more in-house printing. So we are saving on outside printing, but, it is a cost that's going up in my budget, but otherwise it's working out well. So again, my whole goal was to try to keep it to the 2025 ask as much as possible. There were some increases based on, again, this usage and the math. But I'm hoping this is.
So you try to keep your hardware to a 5-year life cycle?
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, which is, the average is 3.
Yeah, no. I have a storage array that I use as a backup device that's going on 11 years old now.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's a secondary device. It's my offsite for emergencies. It's not in the front line. It's just backups. But I was able to stretch that life 4 more years. Right? So we try to do what we can. Before this round of core equipment, I think we had that in service for almost 7 years. So. That's it.
Any questions for the IT director? Playing in this arena, I don't think it's a bad increase. It's expected.
I thought it'd be more.
The way companies are going, wait till next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's down, my original 2025 proposal, it's down based on the 2025, because I've been able to save in other areas. So, but the default is definitely hurting me. I got some things backing up, but we'll get through it.
And unfortunately, the way our subscription and maintenance for ESX, not knowing where they're going, we will probably hit a large hurdle and a large cost on that eventually in the next couple of years.
Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to be off it in 2027. I have a plan, it just requires a capital infusion, which again will happen in years 2026. When we'll ask it, for the 2027 budget, basically will come out at that point.
Alright. Any more questions? Nope. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Want to take us home?
Left.
All right, so I think that was the last, I I guess, so for the record, I'm now stepping back in as chair. So that does complete the budgets for tonight. Obviously, we have another round of budgets, on the 25th. I think it's police and fire. I will not be here, I will not be here that meeting. I have to be out of town for business. Steve is gonna be here, obviously. I will watch the meeting after the fact and kept up to date, so.
So it would be what, police, fire, and recreation, right?
Police, fire, recreation, all the other remaining budgets are next week, in 2 weeks.
I don't think we have much more for that, though.
Yeah, getting to like the tax cap and,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still very early. Unfortunately, we're not gonna have health insurance.
Right,
We're
that's
not
till
gonna,
September,
by the
October
next
at that,
meeting,
right?
we're not, I mean, so it's very hard to start talking tax cap and things like that when we don't have the big,
But we will have a proposed budget to get to the budget committee, so that
They should already have access to this now.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they're following along, it's available to them now, and I'll make sure at the next meeting they realize it's there.
and they're very used to getting it without the
Yeah.
large
Finalized,
ticket. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you can't do your household expenses without knowing what your expenses are, so I don't know how you
Yeah, it's
expect us to do that too, so.
like doing your house budget, not knowing your mortgage.
Or your property taxes.
True that. All right, so moving on to the next item, which is the proposed amendments to the cash receipts policy. And this was tabled a while back, but I don't think the document hasn't changed much. Ms. Kleiner, would you like to?
No, I think, we worked on it, some, and there were some slight changes, which Karen and I went over, and some we worked with, Mrs. Brand on. So there is, you'll just see some wording changes on the deputy, tax collector, and she fills in obviously when the town clerk tax collector is not here. So there's that wording. There's some changes due to the hours. So we had to change, when the
deposits must be.
deposits are due, right, because we close early. Then there's a form that we have filled out that you actually just approved a little while ago. The treasurer yearly has to appoint the tax collector and the deputy, to be able to make deposits on behalf of the town. And every year the board approves that. And then, we added the fact about the town clerk tax collector has a, and their draw, and how much their draw is and how they tally it. I think there was one other.
Police department audit.
Oh, that's it. The treasurer does audit the police departments. There's really not each department's, and there's no cash draws performed by the finance director on a quarterly basis, so we removed that. But they're all pretty minor changes. We just wanted to make sure that it was as accurate as possible.
Little clarifications.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions, or?
Yeah, I just had one, it's a small word, but I don't know why it was crossed out, just so I can have explanation. On page 2, the big green center that you updated, third sentence up on that paragraph, it says a copy of all the deposit slips, and you remove the word all. I don't know why. I'm just questioning why all was removed, unless it went to a single deposit.
What paragraph?
On page 2,
It's on that
where
third
it's all
paragraph.
green in the middle,
So annually, the treasurer will provide, and then it's just.
Oh.
it says a copy of the deposit slip will be provided. It used to be all the deposit slips. I don't know how I went to plural to singular. I just don't know, I don't know if that's a process change.
Yeah,
Is it one deposit that goes in, or?
well, no, it would be a deposit for each thing, so taxes go on one deposit, a return check will go on one deposit, town clerk goes on one deposit. If the treasurer has something that's not in theirs and it's going into the so we could have numerous deposits, but it's one deposit slip on each one of, a bank deposit slip stapled to their deposit ticket.
That's only one? That's all I'm questioning. Just it went from all to one, and I didn't understand why.
Let's see, so what was
It's
there on the
one
first,
with
we'll
all
take
of
to the bank, and then to the deposit, a
I'd probably
copy.
suggest we just strike, put that, take out the alar and make it all, and
Yeah,
make
yeah,
slips
it could be
flow
all,
again.
yeah,
Strike-
I mean, cause you could have more than one
Yeah,
that day, so,
Well, above it, all revenues must be deposited, and then it says for Friday, deposits must be received,
Received it?
received
Okay.
by 11 a.m. instead of received.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Trying to pronounce that received word.
On page 2, we need all back in.
there's a
and
spell check, somewhere.
Receive.
Hey, AI, can you
Yeah.
fix this?
Is it a
Then
PDF?
we'd have nothing to do.
That's right.
I think those were probably the only two that I mean, I get what Kim's saying, so that makes sense, to change it back to where it was.
Again, I didn't know if the process changed, that's what I was just making
It
sure.
still sounds like there's multiple
Yeah.
deposits depending on the action that's happening that day, so. Cause you get a deposit slip for every account you're depositing into, so. Right?
Yeah, you don't have one big one.
sorry,
Are
I was
you?
reading
Is
this
it depositing
paragraph.
all,
Are
is
you
it
getting
depositing
the
all one big
slip
account, or is
for
it
each
just?
account?
Oh, yes, depending on if it's a deposit, yeah, so, if we got a check for a grant,
Yeah, what, it could be grant fund or.
it would go into the grant fund, we make a deposit slip for that for Deb, and then a deposit ticket, receipt from the bank comes back and it gets stapled
Okay.
to our deposit.
I think making it plural again just clarifies.
Yeah, because Deb gets a copy of everything
Yeah,
that we get a copy of, and Terry keeps us a copy as
for
well.
her records, yeah. Okay.
So add all, change received or receipts.
Receipts. And then this will be ready for our next meeting and approval, right?
Well, we could approve with the changes now, and just next meeting you'll be
Sign it
signing it,
off.
signing it.
Next meeting, I'll put it on consent for
And
you
you
to
sign it.
sign.
Do you wanna put the treasurer up with the finance? A copy of all deposit slips will be provided to the finance office and the treasurer with the, or is that because Terry keeps the treasurer stuff in her office? It just sounds kind of,
To the finance. Oh, I thought it does say and the treasurer.
yeah, at the end, information after the deposit is made and to the treasurer. I just thought it kinda,
Oh, from us reading it perspective.
yeah.
Yeah, we just moved, finance office and treasurer with corresponding deposit backup information after the deposit's been made. Just move the treasurer as a finance office and treasurer with correspondence.
Okay,
Yeah, does
so
that make sense?
finance officer,
Office.
finance office and
Treasurer.
treasurer.
Yeah.
With corresponding deposit backup information after the deposit is made,
To,
just made. You can say to the bank, if you
oh,
want, if you wanna end it somehow.
and at made. Yeah, gotcha.
The
Yes,
deposit
that
is
makes sense.
completed or.
Yeah, yep.
Alright, so if we want, I'll take a motion to approve, with us obviously signing at the next meeting.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the cash receipts policy with proposed amendments.
All on page 2.
Motion made by Mr. Gannon, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Plansky, further discussion? Okay, hearing none, this will, if approved, we'll put this in the consent on the 25th for you guys to sign it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 5-0-0. So it will be in the consent for signature next meeting. Okay, next is Farmland Development Capital Reserve Trust Fund request. Ms. Kleiner?
So this is a request, from the finance office to the, trustees. As you know, the farmland development, money was as part of the DeRocha property. So finance, has made that, and they need to be reimbursed to the general fund from the farmland, from the trustees.
And this zero outs that line item too, right?
There's a little bit
Yeah.
left
There's a
in
little
it,
bit,
yeah,
okay, so
yeah, cause
it could
Steve's
possibly
getting
go, okay.
interest every month.
Okay.
Need a
Okay.
warrant.
Anybody wanna make a motion?
I think so.
I think it's a warrant to close.
Yeah, 'cause it's it's
Close
gonna,
it.
until you close it out, you got a warrant to clean it up.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the, hold on, let me get back to it. Farmland Development Capital Reserve Fund request of $166,000 coming from, expended from the Farmland Development Trust Fund for invoices paid to Main Street Title Services for the purchase of DeRocha Farm land.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Plansky. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 500. I believe this was in the consent, so sure, if you guys have already signed it, it's in there already. So, we should be good there. All right, next up is personnel policy. This is a first read. It's not even, take no action. We have a lot of reading to do.
Yeah, so I would like to, because I did not have time to, I would like to send it out to the department heads with the changes. I know it's been in your portal, but they have not had, time to give feedback. We have a leadership meeting next week, so if I send it out and they want discussion, we can have it at the leadership meeting next week. There's a lot there.
52 pages.
And I did, cause I know it was asked for some samples from other towns. So beneath that, if you go in there, there's enough towns, to get a really good idea. And then, I think it's.
That's the one I don't have access to.
Oh, you don't have, to
That's
the
the one I
drive?
don't. Yeah, I don't have that one.
Can I do it
Where
this
is it?
way, John?
She's got sample personnel plans, but then it says no access.
Let me go see if I can fix it. You can keep on talking.
Okay, well, now I got out of it. Now I got myself lost. Okay, go back to the select.
You sure you want to read all 59 pages? You can-
Probably won't.
No,
Why don't you not worry about
I
it
think
right
she's
now?
talking about,
And,
like, oh, do you don't have access to the personnel plan, or you don't have access to the drive with all the
Samples.
plans?
The samples.
Samples, which is interesting. She
samples.
should because she has a link to it, so I'm gonna send you access now. You can look at it.
Yeah, there's like 12, 13, 14 towns in there.
So what I would probably do is look at one part of ours and then go to a different town and look at one part of theirs, and so I'd
Yeah,
probably
and-
cherry pick what's in there.
To make it a little easier for people, I have all of our job descriptions on the link below that, which are also on the town website. So it's under, community, town policies and documents. I put all of the, job descriptions out
Okay.
there, so
See that?
I know, it's an awful lot to
Do I? No, I
review.
don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay.
But then the proposed wage scales is part of that. Because the proposed wage scales, underneath the job descriptions, are in the personnel plan. And this was a year that we were supposed to go out and get wage data and salary data. I got as much as I can, but not everybody, not a lot of the towns haven't updated their information. So below that, you should see a drive for wage data and salary data. And then we put together an employee turnover report for you.
I just sent you the link too, so you have a direct link to it.
Thank you.
What we are proposing, because we haven't seen a lot of movement, I think last year and this year has been difficult on many people. The year before that, there was a big push to raise municipal wages across the state, and I think everyone knows that was like Governor Sununu's last act was he added like 10% to everyone at the state level. We're not seeing that. We're seeing everyone kind of dial back and be a lot more conservative. So what we're proposing for the wage scales is you take away the first step, right? That's what people come in at. Make step 2 your new step 1 and add a step at the end. And all that is doing is adjusting 2.5% for inflation. So that your new people that are coming in aren't coming in below the inflationary part. They're coming in at, 2.5% next year, 2026.
So basically, every step is being increased by 2%.
By 2.5, basically, yes. But it's not increasing existing employees more than one step. It's not doing that. Which I think it will be clearer once you read the personnel policy. The wage scales are all at the end. But maybe we'll have a lot of discussion with Justin the next meeting. And I could go through and make a whole list of changes, because maybe a list of changes will be easier than reading the whole document. Okay, deal.
Yes.
You got a deal.
Reader's Digest version.
I will do that. That might help the department heads too. But I will send it out to the department heads so that they can give their feedback.
Okay. So the homework is read it, feedback. My suspicion is the 25th, we'll probably have a lot more questions still, and at that point, we'll have other department head feedback.
And we'll get that, you'll send us that, so that we can have it before the meeting.
I will.
Okay. All right, moving on next, it'll be the policy against harassment. This is a new policy, which used to exist in the policy handbook, but was pulled out based on guidance from either Primex or legal. So this will be the first read, again, no action tonight, just be aware of it, it's in the portal. I'll allow Kim to give a little background, but it's more or less read it and get your thoughts on it for the next meeting. So Kim, you wanna?
Yeah, so this policy is very familiar to what you're gonna see in all towns. This was worked on, directly with Primex. They gave us all, language that they wanted to see in the policy. The reason for breaking it out from the personnel policy is Primex is looking for a signed, form for each employee directly on this policy, not related to anything else. So there will be a reference in the personnel policy to the new policy. But
And every employee will have to sign
The harassment one, yeah.
yes, and I did go back, like I looked at Hollis, I looked at, a number, and it's standard language that.
Now, would this only be new employees, or would this be current existing?
No, they would suggest that we send it out to everyone again. Yeah.
Okay. We all clear on the homework? I love his
Lots of reading.
All right, so the next two items are have been tabled to the non-public side. if we choose to take it up in non-public or not, but the next will be comfort dog discussion?
Yes, so I was contacted by a Labrador Retriever breeder in town that I've worked with dogs for 10 years. And she has started to donate a dog from each of her litters to different municipal positions, SRO officers or frequent donations. She'd like to donate some dogs to Litchfield. Her proposal would be that there would be a employee that would own the dog. The town would not own the dog. That employee would be charged for insurance for the dog. I don't have that fee, how much that would be yet. So it would have to be an employee who wanted to do this. And I guess there's some employees at the school that are very, very interested and have been asking about it, which I didn't find out until I started sending some feelers out about this. So what I suggest is, if the board is interested, is that we have the woman, Kelly, who is breeding the dogs, come in and do a presentation of what she's trying to do, because what she wants to do is to get all of these dogs that she's donating to be a group that responds to emergencies and disasters and things like that. So like I worked with one of the dogs that she donated to a little boy that has autism, severe autism. And the dog's amazing. I mean, it's just amazing. There's a lot of questions, so anybody who wanted to, I mean, how does the board feel about it?
So would the dogs be trained, or would they come as a puppy and then the new owner work with this lady to get the training, or?
Both.
Both?
Yeah, so they would get them as a puppy, and then they would do their own training and create that bond, which is really important too. I mean, there are places that you can send, but it's not like a canine training. It is a comfort dog as opposed, so it's a service animal, but it's more like it's basic manners have to be impeccable. No jumping, none of those things that the stay, sit, wait, those things have to be rock solid for these dogs. But those are not the kind of training that a canine would go through for $20,000. This is something where they'd take it to Canine Good Citizen, that they would take to a support dog training class. Kelly has a lot of contacts. She's really excited about this. And then when I reached out to the school board, I guess they have been waiting. Jen Grantham is very excited about it, about getting one. They've wanted one. So to get one for no cost, donated by a local breeder, would be kind of cool.
So the dog would actually belong to
The employee. So it would
So
have to be an
how's-
employee who stepped forward and said,
I want
like,
the
if
dog.
I was at the school and I'm a dog person and I would train, it would have to be something that employee is willing to do on their own, above and beyond. And dog people are those people, that get excited about those kind of things. And then when you see a dog work with a child that's upset, or go into a classroom that there's tension in, and then you all of a sudden see the stress let down. I used to bring dogs in to my mother's assisted living facility, and just to see the difference just in the room when a dog is present it's pretty nice. But so I want to start it, but I wanted board approval before I do.
I'm not really sure board approval is required, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's your I mean, we're supportive, let's put it that way, I think.
Well, I'm gonna wanna have a meeting, and I probably wouldn't wanna do that without talking to the board. I wanna have I'd wanna have fire department, the chief, the, fire chief and the police chief, the superintendent, Jen Grantham, school board member, a selectman member, which could be me. I'd like to get it all, because I wanna have a central location for it, because she's talking about donating more than one dog to the town. And it's amazing. I mean, I have questions like, what if we give this dog to an employee, and that employee leaves 3 months later with the cute little wiggly puppy?
It belongs to the employee at that point.
It belongs to the employee, and it's her You know, it's her possible loss, not ours, which, I mean, it seems like everything falls back to her. There's an insurance
Kinda
policy
does,
they
yeah.
have to carry, that we would need to talk to Primex about what they would want carried. But she said it's pretty minimal expense.
We wouldn't have
what?
It wouldn't
For
be
a
a
dog
town,
in the building.
it would be a,
Well, that's school.
Well,
Oh,
not if our SRO officer does it. Then it's our police department doing it as well.
If the police department is up for taking on a dog, yes.
I guess there is a possibility with that the SRO officer has a very old dog that's.
Yes, I talked to him today about it.
Yeah, that's very upsetting right now, and he may be somebody that would be, and he would be the ideal person, in my opinion, because he would go school to school, as
Well,
opposed
at
to
that
a
point-
school.
At that point, though, the dog would become, if he's an SRO officer working on behalf of the town, the dog is then becoming a town asset.
It would be a town volunteer, I would say more than, and what we
That's an
need,
interesting concept.
it's a town volunteer, yeah.
I-
So we have a lot of questions, this is something that she's done in other
Yeah.
towns. So
I-
I would bring her in, she would do a whole presentation, she would have her own comfort dog that she uses to different areas, with her. And all of the questions that we have could be answered there, because I don't have all the information.
Well, I mean, listen, I think going forward and investigating it and talking to the different people that may be involved, that wanna be involved, whether it's owned because it's their personal, now there's a personal dog that's volunteering their time to do this type of stuff. I think seeking out what kind of support there is, and then figuring out what the issues will be from a town perspective, legality, school, there's a whole set of things we have to worry about.
Yep.
So I would say, I'll make a motion to allow you to do it and see where there's
And bring
interest
it back to
and
the,
engage with the
bring it
different
back to the
department.
board.
Yeah, engage the different town folks.
Definitely
and just-
support the premise, but it's going to be a lot of the dedication and commitment's gonna come
From the
from
individual employee.
the individual.
From the owner.
Yeah.
And the owner is gonna be an employee who will have this dog at work, you know?
Yeah, and I think that opens, we have to figure out what the other, from that responsibility.
I have
is
a
to
ton
town.
of questions.
Yeah,
I have
so
a ton,
I
like,
think 'cause you
what
have a
about
ton of
kids
questions,
that
I think-
have allergies? What about, I mean, I have like, because I work with dogs.
Yeah.
I have all of the questions that I would have if I was doing this, so
Yeah, cause one person will have the right to have that dog there, but then there's gonna be other people that
I
have
have the right not
be
to.
there.
yeah, what if they
So-
choose not to bring it to work? Then-
They would have to. There would have to be an
So there's gotta
agreement
be some contract between the.
between the
employee
donator
and
and the employee. Between the donator and
like
the
I said, I
employee,
think-
and then the employee in town. She will have so many more answers than I do. This is so preliminary, but before I called a meeting here, I just wanted to.
Like I said, I'll make a motion to allow Diane to head up an exploratory group of department heads and the interested parties to see if there's something feasible that we could do in the town. And then also determine what the impact is, the cost is there a legal liability we have to worry about, all those factors.
I would like to have you just run it by Primex, but they have to have it in other schools because they exist in other schools, so there's
Yeah.
gotta be something
So,
for
I will
other
second- I will
towns,
second
not
that
just
motion.
schools.
okay, so motion made by myself and seconded by Mr. Gannon to go run with it, and see where the interest is. Hopefully, people are excited about it, and if someone does wanna step up, because it's, again, owning a dog is a big commitment. I would say it's almost a bigger commitment than having a kid.
I'm not gonna say it's a better commitment. My kids are out of the house, my dog's
Yeah,
still
I'm
there.
done with dogs, I'm done with kids.
No, it
Oh,
would
I'd
have
sign
to,
up
it would have to be, I
tomorrow.
mean, it wouldn't be anything we mandated, it would be an employee that would come forward and say, listen, I wanna have my dog, I would wanna train this dog to do this, and I would want it in the school, or I would want it in the office.
Yeah.
Like the SRO officer, I think is probably ideal.
Yeah, again, I think you gotta understand what, if there's a
Yeah.
liability from Primex's perspective, because
Yeah,
that point
that's,
becomes
that's my
part of
only
town,
question
right?
to you,
So-
Kim, is the Primex thing.
Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 401. All right, wrapping around the corner. Town administrator report.
Okay. So. There's just a few items and most of them I put into the portal, so you'll see them. The trustee of the trust funds report, for July, that is there with all of the balances, for your review. Penachuk rate case, so we had discussed this before with the merger. They had permission to come back and, charge for all of Penachuk's costs for the merger. About $400,000 in expenses. The good part is, and I did put the PUC's, order below. The PUC's ordering them to take this out of an existing fund that they have a bank account, so this is not being passed
On to the
through to the
users.
revenue, to the residents, so that's the difference, not what we expected.
Yeah.
Not what we expected, but good,
PUC.
yeah, thank
I
you.
think the governor's putting a little pressure on them right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Too. But back in May, and we saw this on our bills, you might have seen it on your bills, there was a QPAC charge that was charged. And so it's like $7.78, but it's short-lived. It's only for 4 months. That is, again, directly related to the merger. So I included that order. Then I got a notification, so I get a notification every time that New Hampshire DES has any type of agreement change with Saint Gobain. Saint Gobain, actually last fall, had put in additional testing, and they were going through and they were giving New Hampshire DES a bunch of different areas and where they needed additional testing. New Hampshire DES approved one of those areas, and down below I put the map to that area, and if you look at it, it is all of the state-owned land in the southern portion of the town.
Interesting.
Yep. Then, legislative update. So I went through, this is just an update on some of the changes, because of the state legislature, and why do I not see it?
You didn't post it.
Because I didn't post it. That was not very nice of me. I will post that and send it in an email. My apologies. It goes on to say there's some motor vehicle changes, obviously no inspections. But we'll take away the inspections and we'll up the motor vehicle. Okay? There was the one on electioneering was vetoed by the governor.
That could have been a disaster.
Yes, thank you very much to the governor for getting rid of that. But there are a few on there, so my apologies. I will post it here and send it in an email to you. It's a couple pages. And then MS4 reporting, we're working with CEI, Kevin Brown, the road agent, and I to start the MS4 annual report. Joan in the planning department sent out a letter and the update to the stormwater ordinances that was passed last year or last town meeting. So she included all that so that the developers are aware. And that was one of the big tasks that had to be done this year. So Joan completed that. We will have the MS4 report done probably mid-September. Mosquito update. That is, so our vendor did a really nice homeowner awareness guide. I did post that below. I'd like to post this on the website. They did a really nice job with it. Of course, Swamp Incorporated Municipal Pet Manager Services is our vendor. They have been watching the town. Good news on that is we have not seen anything that has any substantial virus contamination. And they have seen a reduction overall in the mosquito population. There has been some infected mosquitoes found in other places across the state, but nothing in Litchfield. But they still want people to be prepared, so I'll post this nice little homeowner's guide on our website.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And then, I didn't even tell you.
She's not gonna be here on Wednesday.
Yeah, this Wednesday I'm not gonna be here.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a variety of appointments, so getting old.
Is that it, Kim?
That's it.
Okay, moving on to selectmen reports. Mr. Leary.
Rec Commission, we meet tomorrow night, but as everybody knows, the bridge went in, not the bridge, the dock went in last week. So
And I'm still taking showers after that.
the water's not that dirty.
No, it's not, actually. It was actually pretty cool.
A little mucky, but not dirty.
John and I went down and helped out.
Nothing 1,000 gallons of bleach wouldn't cure.
There's that option.
George went under. George was under the water.
I couldn't believe he took it up in there, like.
Did he really?
He dropped the tool, so he dove right in for it. I'm like, no!
Hey, they used to chlorinate that pond before
Did
camp
they?
and after camp.
Really?
Wow, Joan would die. Did she know that?
That's too bad. Didn't hurt the fish either. They still nibbled your toes.
There you go.
Anything else there, Mr. Leary?
We meet tomorrow night.
Ms. Plansky?
I attended the Heritage Committee meeting, which was very short, and then also the 250th that was well attended. Zoning had somebody there, Conservation had 2 people there, Rec had somebody there. Rec maybe didn't. Maybe we need somebody from Rec.
They discussed it.
Yeah, I think that we need to get, they need to
Isn't
get
Peter
back
there?
from the school. My Peter.
No, the other
Peter Ames wasn't,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Mm-mm. My Peter was there, but it wasn't requested, so they're gonna get the school involved as well. So that started out well. They haven't gotten as far as everything that needs to be done as far as appointing a treasurer and a chair and a co-chair and all that stuff yet. That'll happen next month, which is next week. I went to conservation meeting last Thursday, and there's quite a bit going on there. It looks like the DeRocher closing date will be Monday. I don't know what they're gonna talk about once that's done. The intern project, which was being talked about, is going really, really well. She's accomplished quite a bit, and she's worked with everybody. So that should be interesting to have the QR codes everywhere you look in town. So great communication. They're working with historical to cut a new trail at the muster field that's, they're hoping might get down to the river, but it would be past where the stairs are behind the food pantry. There's another area down there that they're trying to, that Stephen Callaway is asking them to work on, and I guess they went out on kind of a safari to find out what they could do. So that's being worked on.
It's an old irrigation trail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like a gully in it, and yeah, it's really interesting. So they're working on that. I guess there's some cellar holes in there and stuff. Supposedly somebody lived in one of them.
Mm-hmm. Paul Sweeney.
That's exactly what she said. And then they helped Rec with the install of the dock at Dara. And then their next meeting will be the first Thursday of September. And Heritage is next Thursday. They will do the Heritage meeting, and then they'll do the 250th right after.
Okay.
I think that's all I've done.
Ms. Queenan?
That's a lot. All right, that's good. Let's see, SIP. We meet again August 18th So next week, we'll continue our presentations, so we are still working diligently to not interfere with the budget process and public hearing. I will say, police, highway, and fire did come in last week or 2 weeks ago. The common theme I saw walking away is, if you actually added up the columns just for vehicles, very expensive. So it's almost like they need funds set up for warrant articles to start putting money in every year. So that may come to fruition. All right. I'll get the easy one out of the way. NRPC, the next full commissioner meeting is September 17th, 7 p.m. at NRPC Nashua. The only thing I'll add on that is Maggie Goodlander did visit. The only thing I told her about NRPC from a federal point of view we need to be concerned about is some of our grants come from the EPA. So far, we have received our grants, but I just wanted her to pay attention to that, as we see a lot of cutting going on there. Economic Development Committee, we had a pretty good meeting last time. I'm looking at the website for Economic Development right now. We had 5 deliverables for you. First one was to create the economic survey and data collection. That was already done. We actually followed up with a focus group, and then we had the people come back one more time. They came on their own, but they did come in and gave us feedback. We did bullet number 2 last week, establish the recommendation to the Planning Board and Board of Selectmen on updates and changes to the existing economic development master plan. So we went over that, multiple meetings with Jay. The whole group went over it with him last week. He has his changes that he has to do. We went over the whole chapter where he gets his information from, so he has that. He also has what Kim and I had worked on 4 or 5 days straight, of the timeline of everything. That'll go in the back of the report for supportive data. Number 3 is almost done. That is, we will vote on it at our next meeting. Like I said, our next meeting will be August 27th, 2025. Everybody was asked to come up with their deliverables, not deliverables, but I would say recommendations they want to do for economic development. So when we did the timeline, Kim, we flushed out everything that everybody had said, and we came up with a big list that came out of that would probably go into the report. And then we asked every group if they had anything else to add to it. We did have a few groups respond, and so we will take a vote on those next week, so we can come back to the board here to say what they recommended, yes or no. Items 4 and 5, we're looking for federal grants and initiatives once we're done, and then the that one we really can't do yet until the report's delivered. And that'll be ongoing after the fact. Number 5 is make recommendations to the streamlining of the permitting process. You have started that internally, right? And we have reports for mixed use for cost effectiveness. So I think 5 is on its way. So I think Jay is writing both reports. He has, I think, what he needs at this point, other than our final recommendations that are going in. And let's put that one down. All right, let's see. The POFA meeting did not meet in August. It was planned. They don't do that. They meet in September. We'll have a discussion about that at our non-public in a few minutes. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gannon?
Energy meets on the 14th, planning on the 19th, and I haven't had a meeting since our last meeting. So not much to report.
Sweet. And then, I guess for myself, Budget Committee did not meet last month. They meet in the end of the month, on the 28th, I believe. No emergency management meeting, and FIC meets tomorrow night. So no activity for me. And that is everything, I think. I think at this point, it looks like we have concluded our public meeting, and we do need to go into a non-public. So I would like to make a motion that we go into non-public under RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, Section D, consideration of the acquisition, sale, or lease of real estate, the sale or lease of real or personal property which, if discussed in public, would likely benefit a party or parties whose interests are adverse to those in the general community.
I'll second that motion.
They never read right, I'm telling you. All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0-0. So we will be going into non-public at 9:31. We will only be coming out of non-public to adjourn our public meeting. That will be it for tonight. Our next meeting is August 25th at 6:30 here in this great town hall. Everybody have a good evening, and thank you.